If we go back to where we started to some extent, like, is this the only economy that somewhat exists in the near future where it's like people who are building with AI to some extent, and like maybe you're not at like the cutting, bleeding edge, but like you're building things with AI because all the other businesses are going to slowly die or maybe quickly die.
I think it's a slowly die. And I think it's also, there's always going to be people that want to have a job with their hands. Like I talked to Kevin about this the other day. I think we talked about it in one of our podcasts. It's like, go learn a trade. Like if you don't want to be in front of a computer, then we're still going to need plumbers. We're still going to need electricians. We're still going to need carpenters. Like, yes, robots are going to do some of those jobs in the future. And like, it's kind of like the self-driving car thing, but it's going to take a lot of time and not everywhere. Like it's not going to happen. So if you don't want to be technical or learn tech or kind of be in this world, then go do something with your hands. And Kevin grew up on a farm, right? Like,
Have you ever thought about going back to the farm, Kevin, or it's just not a world?
I love going back to the farm. I think the capitalistic scoreboard for money, building small, family-led. We were actually a really big pig farm when I was growing up. And even that, it's like, it's hard to make a living at that. It's fun. Honestly, the software and the game's more fun. And so like, I choose that. But I think, my mom still lives on the farm. She's in her mid 80s. We don't have as many animals there anymore. It's got a few cats. The pig barn's empty. But I think there is a gentleman's sort of farmer in everyone of like, what's that sort of dream that you're like, oh, I'm doing all this to go out and go fishing, or I'm doing all this to go on a long hike or spend this time with my dog or my wife or my kids or whatever. The false choice sometimes, and I fall into this myself, is that you're like, oh, I just need to grind one more company, one more thing, because then I'm going to go retire. And I'm like, dude, let's be honest. I actually enjoy this game. This is my fishing. This is my zen, for better or worse. And that'll change over time, doing more companies, doing, less single threaded stuff, just to scratch the itch. But yeah, I think it's just a natural choice. And I think there's going to be work for people that don't want to do AI, just like there's people today that don't work on computers. For all of us, we sit in front of these screens and we talk to these silly cameras and people are like, man, these guys are cartoon characters. There's a lot of people that don't do this today, even though these things have been out for a minute. And I think that'll continue. Now, are those the ones that are going to be on the Forbes list and doing, are like the peak of that's going to be this AI that, it was the Walmart generation. And then it was like, the Oracles and the Salesforces. And now it's the AI foundational folks. And I think that's going to change. Like, there's still going to be a few, kind of quote unquote traditional companies up there. But look, the Forbes list is kind of a pipe dream for most people. Let's be honest. But it's like people need to realize and at least zoom out a little bit if you're building and thinking about, entrepreneurial excellence. It's like, what does that mean to you? And are you actually excited about doing this? Because I think if you're doing it only for the money, or you're doing it only for like, because you believe that's the means to an end, you're probably going to be disappointed. Because I actually deeply enjoy it. Like Jason says, like it's weird. Like I am wired this way. I actually like the game and the pain that comes with it at many times. And so I think that's not a choice for everyone.